Coming up on NonStop Local at 4, a 1997 cold case finally reaching a conclusion. The suspects, Spokane police say they finally found after using genetic genealogy. And East Adams County Rural Healthcare facing not only potential layoffs but funding shortages and fraud. NonStop Local's Belle Lewis is live in Ritzville. She spoke to the interim CEO about the next steps. And the man who took an excavator and demolished a newly built home, according to police in Post Falls, was in court today. The latest details on that case coming up.
Corey Howard and Leslie Lowe, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local News at 4. This is breaking news.
Breaking news into our newsroom. Washington State University has parted ways with Athletic Director Ann McCoy after just under a year and a half in that role. SWX's Grady Glover joining us in studio here. And Grady, news no one was expecting, and certainly not at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's really shocking. McCoy's only been officially the athletic director since June of 2024, was the head of the search for a new football coach, and now after more than 20 years working for Washington State, she's been let go. McCoy took over as the interim AD in March of last year when Pat Chun left for the same job at the University of Washington. The interim tag removed just a couple months after that. She oversaw 3 massive decisions for the future of the university. Hiring new football coach Jimmy Rogers, helped resurrect the Pac-12 with the addition of 7 new universities, and was a voice in deciding the conference's new media rights deal moving forward. McCoy was made the athletic director by previous President Kirk Schultz, who retired and was replaced by Elizabeth Cantwell. Cantwell today said, quote, "Ann has provided steady leadership through one of the most complex and pivotal periods in the history of Cougar athletics." Cantwell will now be the one who will head up the next athletic director search, and presumably she will want one that shares her forward-thinking vision to put WSU at the forefront of the Pac-12 when it becomes a conference once again next year.
All right, Grady, thank you very much. Certainly big news out of Pullman today. Meanwhile, some more breaking news. This one regarding a cold case murder from 1997. Spokane police detectives say DNA and genetic genealogy led them to a suspect in the fatal beating and rape of Margaret and Selmo. According to the Spokane Police Department, DNA found at the crime scene has been tied to a man named Brian J. Anderson. He was 20 at the time of Margaret's murder. She was 45. Spokane police do not believe there was any connection between Margaret and Anderson. Detectives say Anderson took his own life years ago, but if he was alive today, Spokane police say they would be requesting charges of first-degree murder and first-degree rape for Margaret's daughter. Today is one of peace.
As soon as I talked to Zach, it was like this big lift was off of my shoulders, and I just started crying, and then I just looked up and I was like, we did it.
Coming up tonight at 5, you can hear from Spokane Police Sergeant who worked tirelessly to get the Anselmo family some answers. All right, let's head over to the Weather Center for Leslie Lowe's take on what's happening outside right now.
Oh, you want my take? Let's see what is happening outside. Did you catch some of those northern lights last night?
I mean, I did. A lot of viewers did too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. I was outside earlier this morning, and it was just gorgeous out there.
Yeah, really nice little break between storm systems. And we actually did get that incredibly great view of the northern lights. And if you missed them last night, you're in luck. We've got that G4 storm in place once again, which means that viewing area extends all the way down into parts of the Midwestern states, Northern California. That puts us right there in the bullseye. And we could see, because of cloud coverage, that opportunity once again. So we do have cloud coverage out there. Just head away from the city lights. We've got Justin Spinney. He'll be back tonight at 6:30. He's going to talk a bit more about that. But you can see on our satellite and radar, we've got the clouds in place. So again, partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. We've got that next round of showers. It is on the move, but it looks like timing-wise it's backed off a little bit. We'll look for the bulk of those showers to arrive as we get you into tomorrow, and we'll time all of that out for you coming up here in just a few minutes. It's 47 degrees in Spokane, 45 in Coeur d'Alene. We've got mid to upper 40s and low 50s through central Washington. And then as we head overnight tonight, those lows dipping down just above freezing for Colville. We've got mid to upper 30s and 40s between North Idaho, Spokane, and into the Palouse. 49 degrees tonight in Lewiston. And then low 40s expected, low 40s expected around Moses Lake down through the Tri-Cities. Full look at that weather forecast. Stick around. We'll time out that round of rain for tomorrow and mountain snow when I see you back here in a few minutes. Corey?
And some more breaking news just in. Leslie, Douglas County Sheriff's Office telling NonStop Local that Highway 97 from Chelan Hills Acres Road to Sun Cove Road is expected to be closed for 6 to 9 hours. In a press release by the Sheriff's Office, they're saying they responded to reports of a man who was unresponsive in a car. He was pronounced dead at the scene after life-saving efforts failed. Sheriff's Office saying he was found with gunshot wounds, and the incident, which was initially being investigated as suspicious, is now being investigated as a homicide. More updates will be given here on air and on nonstoplocal.com as soon as we get some more information. Continuing coverage now out of Ritzville. New details emerging for East Adams Rural Health Care. Their hospital now facing potential bankruptcy and closure. Earlier this week, the rural hospital filed a warn notice indicating potential layoffs of 108 employees coming up in January. The interim CEO citing more than $13 million in debts accumulated going back to 2022, also indicating that vendors aren't inclined to continue to do business with the hospital until they are paid. NonStop Local has obtained an audit for the hospital that was published in September. That audit shows fraud took place between May and September of 2023. The hospital district saying 4 checks totaling more than $20,000 were altered and made payable to the accounting clerk instead of multiple vendors. The clerk is also accused of using district credit cards to purchase more than $10,000 worth of personal items. Charges followed that, resulting in the accounting clerk pleading guilty and being sentenced to 60 days in jail. The question now is, how does the hospital sustain itself going forward? NonStop Local's Belle Lewis is live in Adams County for us tonight. Belle, you had a chance to speak with the interim CEO today. What did he have to say about all this?
Yeah, good evening, Corey. East Adams Rural Health Care is really the only option for folks in this area who don't want to drive 45 minutes to receive their health care. That's why the interim CEO says he and his team are working hard to make sure those doors stay open.
Honestly, we're not leaving any stone unturned. We will go down swinging. The team I have here in administration currently is extremely dedicated. We're working 14, 16-hour days just to make sure that we're doing absolutely everything we can.
The only other hospital in Adams County is Othello Community Hospital, and the next closest emergency room is in Moses Lake, 45 miles away. Now, in the warn notice, which is mandated by state law, NIDA explained that the current financial difficulties are the result of sustaining $13.4 million in losses over the last couple of years. I sat down with NIDA to ask the question, how did East Adams Rural Healthcare lose $13 million?
So without those audits not being completed since 2021 until now, there was no clear picture of what the finances were.
Now, it's those audit reports that are really at the center of this whole situation. I reviewed those reports and I'll have more information for you tonight at 6:30. In Ritzville, I'm Belle Lewis, NonStop Local.
Thank you very much, Belle. And a community meeting is now scheduled for 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon at Legion Hall in Ritzville. Representatives from the hospital say they will answer community questions about the next steps and those potential layoffs. New information here at 4. The man accused of demolishing a Post Falls home with an excavator yesterday made his first appearance in court. That man, 29-year-old Frank Caderna, is charged with DUI, burglary, and other charges. Police say no one was in the home at the time, but it had been recently purchased. We learned more about Caderna's legal history, including charges for burglary back in 2018 and trespassing in 2022. NonStop Local's Jared Cottingham is tracking this story for us. Joins us live now from Kootenai County. And Jared, the damage to that Post Falls home, as we've seen, was extensive.
Corey, we just left the court hearing. First appearance for Fred Caderna. I'm here at the property that he destroyed around 5:45 a.m. This is the family's car parked in the driveway. They were planning to move in just days. I just spoke with excavators, and I'll show you the scene here. Right now, they're working to clear out all of this debris and wood into trucks. I asked what the next step was. They said they will be rebuilding in days to come once all of this is cleared out and they get an inspection. Now at court, the prosecutor has requested for the judge to give Caderna a $75,000 bond, which the judge approved. The judge also asked about Caderna's finances, and he answered he is a construction worker. We also just spoke with an excavator here who says he does work at a construction company in Post Falls, and that could most likely be the reason why he had access to those keys to the excavator. When the judge asked him if he filled out any of the documents, the financial statement specifically, Caderna responded yes, while his defending attorney said no, he did not fill out any documents. I also want to point out our team saw about 7 defendants before Caderna appeared. They all responded to the judge right away, while Caderna, he responded with 3 calls from the judge. And so he is being charged with a suspected DUI. He has another DUI back in 2019. He also has a burglary charge back in 2018 and a trespassing charge back in 2022. Again, Caderna is set to be bailed out in a $75,000 bond, and if he does get bonded out, he'll have to participate in ETG and alcohol testing, drug testing, 6 times a month. In Post Falls, G.R. Cottingham, NonStop Local.
Thanks, Jared. Still to come this afternoon here on NonStop Local at 4. Don't go anywhere. We've got bagpipes. Not just 1, not just 2. No. The only thing better than 1 bagpipe is 374 of them. Right? Right. Right, Leslie?
Right.
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Lots of bagpipes. So many bagpipes. Are you going to play for us?
I don't have any, but we might hear them. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, live look over Spokane. Cloudy skies out there. Next system is on the move. We'll time that out. We'll get a full look at that weekend forecast when I see you back here in a few minutes.